Hi guys, it's Nicole Stanger. I'm back with another video about sobriety. So I'm just going to get straight to the point. I had posted a video, my first one ever, of a little bit of a background on myself and, you know, what my past was like and what I went through, etc., etc. And somebody had commented on the video and asked me to tell all about losing my son. Now, that is going to be a hard topic, and I'm going to be bouncing around a lot because a lot of stuff had happened to make me lose my son. And excuse me for the late videos, and I know originally I had said that I was going to post, you know, once a night, but with my job, there's no way in hell it's going to happen. I'm a restaurant manager. I work over 60 hours a week, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to post more than one video a week. So I will try to keep up with one video a week. I will promise you that. But anyway, all about losing my son. So my kid's father, I was with him for 5 years, and I was living with him, and then I ended up getting my own apartment. So I get my own apartment, and in my sick head, I'm thinking even with an addiction, like full-blown addiction, I'm going to be able to keep up with this apartment, and I'm going to marry my kid's father, and everything's going to be great. I was working 2 different jobs, then ended up working 3, and so what happened was my kid's father came over one night, and he slept over my house. And I thought, I God's honest truth thought in the back of my head that he was going to move in with me. And he didn't. And thank God he didn't, because I was very toxic at the time. He slept over that night. And he woke up in the middle of the night and he was like, I can't do this. I need to go home. I'm going home. Which now, 4 years later, I'm obviously married to a whole different man, and I just recently found out the reason why he got up and ran away the way he did was because he knew at that moment in time he didn't want to be with me anymore. The relationship was over with. So, excuse that noise in the background. That is my daughter. She is awake right now at, what time is it? 1 in the morning. So he knew that he was done. It was over. It was done with. You know, there was too much damage done. And I was really toxic. I was on heroin. I was doing Adderall at the time. Well, my kid's father left me. Ended up getting into another relationship. Most toxic man I had ever met in my life. He introduced me to meth. I chose to do that. I chose to do the meth. But when I found meth, that's when I found my real love. So, excuse me, my husband's holding the phone for me. So, ended up doing meth, and then my run got bad. And my kid's father literally said to me, like, you know, you're really bad. Like, I can't let you see the baby anymore. Like, I'm sorry. We had children and youth involved, and children and youth apparently were the ones that had said to my kid's father, you need to tell her she can't see him right now because of how bad I was on the drugs. So CYS was involved, and he ended up, they said to him, you know, we want a court order in place that states that she can only see her son supervised, because I kept getting caught. I kept peeing hot, you know. I would have meth, I would have heroin, whatever I could find, weed. Anybody who's an addict knows when you do one drug, you do them all. So kept pissing hot for him. Finally, they told my kid's father, you need to make a decision. Either get a court order that states she cannot see her son unsupervised, or we're going to end up taking him from you. So, of course, he did what he needed to. He went to the courts, and he got, you know, court documentation that states that I was not allowed to see my son unless it was supervised. So, I'm living in this apartment, and I had this bright idea to let this man that I was with for like a month move into my house. When I started doing meth, it was bad. It was like, meth was like my one love. Like, heroin, yeah, it was bad, but like meth was really bad. And when I started doing meth, I had to choose between my son and the drugs, and I chose the drugs. Like any addict would, I chose drugs over my son. So, started shooting meth and heroin at the same time. I would shoot the meth. I would be up for 2 days, and then I would shoot heroin to come down from the meth because I needed to sleep. I chose not to see my son for an entire year because, and that was by choice, because I was so far into addiction. I mean, I literally lived for drugs. Like, I remember telling my ex-boyfriend one time, I soul-heartedly believe that I am going to die by drugs, and I am okay with that. I was okay with that. That's what would have made me happy. So, his mother was honestly a God-sent angel from the heavens above, because his mother, granted she's not very fond of me now, you can't blame her for that, because I was very nasty to her son. Very nasty. I mean, this man tried to do everything and anything he could for me, and in my eyes, because he wasn't giving me heroin every day, it was never enough. You need to sit up and fix the camera. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a second. Come closer. Sorry, guys. My husband thought it would be a good idea for him to hold the camera, and obviously it was not. So anyway, his mom would send me videos and pictures, and she would try her damnedest. I mean, she would really try to say to me, Nikki, you need to get your shit together. Like, you have a kid out here who needs you. And I was just so far gone in the addiction, I didn't care. And I know people are going to judge me. They're going to say I'm a bad mom. Whatever it is. I was a bad mom. I was a bad mom. I was getting high. I was a bad mom. It is what it is. His mom would try to get through to me. She would reach out to me even after I did so many terrible things to her son. She would reach out. And I would say at least once a month, she would contact me with pictures of my son, videos, you know, of my son and the stuff that he would do. And she tried. She tried very hard to get through to me, but I was just so far gone, it didn't matter. And actually, when CYS had told my kid's father that he needed to make a decision, she ended up contacting me and saying, you know, we're going to have to go through with this because you're not around, and CYS is telling us that we have to, so we have to go through with it, or we're going to lose him too, and we don't want to lose him. So that happened. It was a rough road. I can honestly say that it was a very rough road to go down. Losing my son was like losing a part of me. And I don't really like to talk about it because it does hurt, and usually I do cry. And it is it's a tough topic. Excuse me for a second, I'm cutting something open. It's a very tough topic, and I try not to cry most of the time when I talk about it. I don't know what else there is to really say about it. I was doing hard drugs. And if it wasn't for my kid's father and my kid's father's mother, my son would have been lost in the system. And I have to live with that. I have to live with that. A lot of people say, you know, how do you walk away from your child? But I made a choice as a mother to stay away because I went through that as a kid. I watched my parents get high. I was hoping that if I ate these stupid popsicles while I did this video, I wouldn't cry. The guilt still sits on my chest. I am still in therapy for losing my child. It did a lot of damage to our relationship. I have had my son back for about 2 years now. And I do have another baby also. And I am married to a new man now. But, you know, I didn't even bother fighting because I did what I thought was best for my child. And honestly, at the time, I thought I was a lost cause. You know, you get so sucked up into that world. It's almost like you lose yourself. You lose sight of who you are and what you want in life, and it's like you force yourself to believe that there is no future but drugs. I remember I used to say to my kid's father all the time, I'll be happy as long as I die high. And that poor man, I put him through hell. Oh, did I put my kid's father through hell? That poor man. I have to live with a lot of regret, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of sadness, embarrassment for the rest of my life. Because as much as other people are angry that I lost my son, and other people are upset that I lost my son, you all have to remember that I am clean now. I am sober, and I feel that. Every day. So let's just hope that, you know, it never happens again. Thank God, you know, he was so young that he didn't know what was going on. Thank God I got it together before he could realize what was going on. And thank God I am still clean and sober, because now I have another one on top of it. But again, do I feel a lot of guilt and a lot of shame? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because I gave my kid up to be a slave to drugs. But it's scary because you wake up every day literally not wanting to be that person. And it's like you don't have a choice. Like, no matter how much you cry, you scream, you fight, no matter how desperately you want to be clean, it's like you still have to get that next fix. I don't know how to explain how an addict's mind works, but all I can say is I am happy that I am clean and sober, and that I have my family, and that I found, you know, a man to love me for who I am while I'm sober. I'm thankful that God gave me the chance to be a decent sister, mom, wife, aunt. You know, I raised my nephew too now. Like, thank God, because 3 years ago, I wouldn't have... people would have laughed at me if I said I was going to raise a child who wasn't my own, you know? So, thank God, but I don't know what else you guys want to know about me losing my son, but it was a dark road. A very dark road. And if you want to hear a little bit about how I got him back, you can let me know, and then we'll go from there, and I will post about that. But I will respond to whatever anybody wants me to talk about. And if you're going through that, there is help. Like, I went through it. There is a way out. Even if it is maintenance. Because I am on maintenance. And I do consider myself clean and sober. For 3 years, I've been on maintenance. And here I am with a decent job, schooling under my belt, a husband, brand new car, roof over my head, taking care of my kids, working 60 hours a week to support my family. I'm the parent who's held accountable to go to work. Me. I am held accountable to go to work. My husband trusted me enough to stay clean and sober and go to work every day. To take care of our children. That's got to say something. But I really don't want to focus on that topic anymore. So if there's something else you guys want to know, just let me know. That's as much as I remember and as much as I can explain. I don't know if I hit every milestone I was supposed to, but I tried. But I love you guys. I'm still clean and sober. I will continue to stay clean and sober by the grace of God. I will continue to work a program by the grace of God, and I will continue to stay clean and sober. I love you guys.